Tonight, a national emergency declared.
The action I am taking will open up access to up to $50 billion.
What it means for Washington's fight against coronavirus.
All schools in the state shut down. Crowds now banned statewide.
And our communities need us to be extraordinarily outside of our boundaries.
The drastic new measures to stop the spread of the virus.
A man awaiting test results for the virus leaves his King County quarantine site. The frustration and concern as a search goes countywide.
Waiting for results at the epicenter of the outbreak.
They're just putting people at risk.
Families asking why employee test results aren't back yet.
And the sporting world silenced as professional sports pulls the plug. All eyes are now on the upcoming Olympic Games.
We begin with breaking news. This afternoon, Governor Inslee extended school closures across the entire state. And good evening, I'm Steve Rabel.
I'm Monique Minglavin. Now, the ban on large crowds was also extended just minutes after President Trump declared a national emergency. There is a lot to boil down for you. Here is a look at the measures announced today. The president says he's in discussions with the FDA and retailers like Walmart and Target to increase testing and make drive-through coronavirus tests an option. Now, the president also said he will waive interest on student loans held by the federal government until further notice. And late today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced a deal with the Trump administration on an aid package, providing free tests and sick pay for workers and bolstering food programs.
The three most important parts of this bill are testing, testing, testing. This legislation facilitates free coronavirus testing for everyone who needs a test, including the uninsured.
All Americans have a role to play in defeating this virus. Our most effective weapon right now is to limit the damage to our people and our country.
KRO 7 has crews spread out over the area covering the latest developments in this coronavirus emergency. And we begin with Essex Porter, who was at the governor's news conference today. Essex.
That statewide closure of classrooms, it affects 1.2 million children. And we were with the governor when he spoke today from the state capitol. He said that he had urged the Trump administration just yesterday to declare a national state of emergency, and now he's grateful that President Trump has done so. With the governor's order, it will be empty classrooms in every public and private school in the entire state for at least the next 6 weeks, beginning Monday night.
Clearly, we have a clear and present danger of rather epic proportions in the state of Washington. I'm not sure we've ever faced this since the 1918 Spanish flu.
It's not just schools. Gatherings of 250 people or more are banned statewide. Visitors are restricted at nursing homes and assisted living centers statewide because the elderly and sick are the most vulnerable to the coronavirus.
But look, we got to understand, this is a devilish virus.
Governor Inslee welcomes President Trump's declaration of a national emergency, which frees up billions to help states. What does that mean to our state? Who might that help?
That is helpful to the state of Washington because it will make some Medicare and Medicaid benefits eligible where they would not be eligible. It helps with the public messaging as well to let all Americans know how serious this challenge is.
Arrangements will be made for school districts to continue offering school meals and limited child care.
But our commitment to vulnerable populations, food and nutrition, and getting our seniors and juniors the credits they need to transition will continue to be the initial work that we do.
Now, Governor Inslee says he declared this statewide shutdown because the virus does not respect county lines at all. The only way to slow it is to close schools and enforce social distancing statewide. Now, the governor today also addressed those rumors that the National Guard has somehow been called into action. We're putting together that part of the story. We'll bring it to you live at 6. For now, reporting live in Olympia, Essex Porter, KRO 7 News.
The North Shore School District was the first to shut down and implement online learning. Now, KRO 7 North Sound reporter Ryan Sims is finding out why that was stopped. And Ryan, parents really appreciated that program.
The parents liked it. The students did as well. Consider this. In the weeks before online education went into place, there were 7,000 absences within the district here. This last week, there were only 500, so a huge drop. But even then, the district says it is time to take a much-needed break.
I mean, I think fear is kind of the #1 underlying emotion that everybody has right now.
Julie Barrett speaks for so many parents thrust into chaos by coronavirus. Up until now, this North Shore mom says she could rely on online classes to keep her 4 kids busy.
The classroom to cloud was giving them that sense of comfort, that sense of things are still going along as usual.
But just like that came a literal disconnect, with North Shore announcing a sudden halt in online learning. Within hours, hundreds of parents vented about the move on Facebook, including Julie.
Taking that away from them has been very disturbing.
Given the outcry, Cairo 7 News reached out to North Shore schools about why it stopped online classes. We discovered the district simply needed some breathing time to deal with sudden technical issues.
We kept all week trying to tweak what we were doing and iterate, but we just haven't been able to get all of them addressed yet.
And then there is the issue with money. District leaders say that by staying in session, even online, it would not qualify for emergency funding for things like school lunches.
But if school is closed, then we're able to provide meals, and the government provides funding for meals for all children.
The district says online classes should be back within a few weeks, way before April 24th for other school districts. That's the plan anyway, as parents like Julie live a day-to-day life.
It's really hard as a parent, you know, because kids are asking the parents and we don't have answers.
And as for when classes will resume here, we are told that it will likely be in place by the end of this month. We're talking about the online classes, of course. We're live in Bothell tonight. Ryan Sims, Cairo 7 News.
Anger and frustration in Kent today because this man who might have coronavirus simply walked away from a controversial quarantine site. Cairo 7's Amy Clancy is live at what used to be an Econo Lodge but is now owned by King County to quarantine people. And Amy, this guy just got up and left.
Well, Steve, this is exactly what Kent City leaders feared would happen. As you can see behind me, there are plenty of signs and a security guard keeping people, including the media, out. But apparently there is nothing to keep anyone in. And today, a man who could have coronavirus simply walked away.
Surveillance video from a Shell station across the street from what used to be an Econo Lodge on Central Avenue North in Kent shows a man simply walk away from the county-owned motel quarantine, followed by a security guard.
Like the security guy was chasing him, you know, but he just escaped.
The man in the black hoodie and camouflage pants then walked into the Shell station where employees and police say he shoplifted before leaving.
He's got 2 products in his pocket.
It is not known for certain whether the man who'd been in quarantine is positive for COVID-19. His test results have not yet come back. But the fact he walked away, then boarded a northbound bus, has the community very concerned.
I think they should be locked down in the rooms, you know, so that way we don't spread it more.
I'm angry. I'm frustrated, and I feel like our entire city through this process continues to be disrespected.
The city's mayor and police chief say they are not being informed at all about the comings and goings of a COVID-19 quarantine site in Kent's jurisdiction.
We think we were notified about this about an hour after it happened, not by King County Public Health, but by the business owner. We did not get a 911 call or any notification from King County Public Health.
Today, a spokesperson for King County's Department of Community and Human Services said no one can force anyone under quarantine to stay on site.
It's a voluntary system. There is not a public health order that can compel the person to stay where they are.
Are you confident in King County to keep anybody who might need the quarantine inside?
They should be locked down, actually. So now we know, now it's confirmed, they can go anywhere they want.
Now, today the county did say it is re-examining staffing levels here because of what happened here today, but also explained there's a difference between quarantine, which is voluntary, and isolation, which is more stringent. The man who walked away here is still at large tonight. Reporting live in Kent, Amy Clancy, Cairo 7 News.
At the very least, let's hope those results come back negative, Amy. Well, let's take a look at the latest numbers of coronavirus cases in the state. According to the Department of Health, 568 people have tested positive. That includes 58 new cases in King County alone. There are also now 15 counties with cases, including Columbia and Yakima counties. 37 people have now died from coronavirus in the state, with 1 more death in Snohomish, 5 more in King County. KIRO 7's Allison Grandy is live now in Kirkland. And Allison, family members are upset. Employees at Life Care Center of Kirkland still have not been tested.
And Monique, tomorrow it will be 2 weeks since they identified the corona outbreak centered right here at this care center. Now, not all employees have been tested. In fact, they can only tell us a little more than 30 have been tested. But before all of this happened, there were 180 employees working here at the nursing home, and still no test results are back.
My concern is that the employees, just like the patients, may not show symptoms. Fever or cough or whatever, but they're still working, and they could be passing this along to patients in there.
Carmen Gray and her sister, Bridget Parkhill, have been to Life Care Center of Kirkland every day since the outbreak to check on their mom. Susan Haley is 76 and tested positive.
They're not getting out of their bed, they're not being bathed. Mom hasn't been out of her bed since a week ago Wednesday, 9 days.
So far, 25 patients from the nursing home have died from coronavirus. Right now, at least 26 patients there have the virus. At least a dozen don't. While patient testing is complete, employee testing has barely started. LifeCare is confident it's more than 30, but there were 180 employees when all of this started.
We would like to have a more coordinated effort to be able to work through all of our employees as quickly as possible, not just tests but results back, so that we can get them back to work as soon as possible.
And while there's talk of quarantine and isolation,
Family members are still able to visit. There's not a chain on the door and a lock. If a family member feels that it's really important for them, then we will work with that family to get them in.
LifeCare says those family members are required to wear protective gear. But for relatives choosing to stay out and stay safe,
That they're just putting people at risk, the family members. I mean, for me personally, I have a problem where I can't go in and be around people with coronavirus. And they're putting my life at stake now. So it's not just the people in there, it's the community. And they're just not telling the truth.
Now, I asked the spokesman for LifeCare who they're asking to get help from to make sure all of the employees here are tested. He told me anyone that'll help them, like UW, the Department of Health, the CDC. They say they need help here getting their employees tested. Live in Kirkland, Allison Grandy, KIRO 7 News.
Still do not understand, Allison, how this can't get accomplished. We'll keep on asking these questions, but there is help out there, so we've got to figure out why that hasn't been happening. Thank you for staying there for 2 weeks now and reporting on this. Allison Grandy.
Just bring somebody in to test them. Stocks gained back some of the ground they lost in yesterday's historic plunge. The Dow Jones jumped 9.4%, its biggest rise since October 2008. The rebound came as President Trump announced new measures to fight the coronavirus, but the markets continue to be turbulent. In just a few weeks, stocks decline wiped out all of the gains made during 2019, one of the best years for the market in decades.
Moments ago, President Trump announced all major cruise lines will suspend outbound cruises starting at midnight tonight. This includes Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and MSC for the next 30 days. Princess Cruise Lines and Disney already indicated it would halt service. Now, Canada also suspended any cruise ship from docking in the country until July. That means any Alaska sailing. If that happens, they will likely change dramatically.
And not just on the water. Delta Airlines made its deepest ever cutbacks today, slashing flights by 40%. The airline is parking 300 planes as demand drops. And to give you some perspective, that's about the entire fleet of Alaska Airlines. Delta is also suspending all flights to Europe except London for the next 30 days. Its CEO, Ed Bastian, also said that he will forfeit his salary for the next 6 months.
Now remember, if you have coronavirus-related questions, a Washington call center is ready to help. 1-800-525-0127.